Welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. It is April 28th. The month is almost over, and man, has it flown by. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
Today, we're going to talk about a lot of random things, but before we get into that, let's thank our friends at Chinook. Chris and I just got off of a golf trip, had a great time. The entire time that we were playing golf, we were feasting on Chinook seeds. Chinook Seedery absolutely has the best sunflower seeds in the game. If you're interested, please go to their website, use Coach's Sons Pod at checkout, get 10% off. I would highly recommend the hot chili right now. It's my favorite. And I think cinnamon toast is still Chris's number one. So
yeah, I'm unchanged.
Unchanged. Please give our friends at Chinook a shout out and give those seeds a try because they're amazing. They really are. An elite golf snack. So, anyways, Chris, a lot of baseball has been played. We are a month in.
That's fair.
Okay,
I'll say a month.
I say a month. Who are we impressed by, and who are we not impressed by?
We talking teams, players? What do you want?
Let's start with teams. What team are you like? Okay, that's impressive.
You mean my division leading Seattle Mariners? No, I will not lead the show off with the Mariners, even though they are in first place. I took a quick look at some of the records prior. I was surprised by actually three. So first one that's super surprising, the Tigers being 8 games over 500, 18-10 leading the AL Central. They seem to have things going. Scooble's back to doing Scooble things. Flaherty's pitching well. Reese Olson pitching well. They're getting some quality ABs from some of the guys from last year that are now healthy. Kerry Carpenter having a nice season to start. So I thought that was surprising. I didn't think they were performing that well. I expect to see 500. The Mets, 19-9. Seemingly firing on all cylinders, even though they're not 100% in a lot of ways. Francisco Lindor's continue to do his thing. He's just going to give you production all the time. Pete Alonso's playing his absolute ass off. Don't let anybody tell you different. So not only is the power still there, he did not sacrifice power for the average he's hitting. As of today, they are playing right now, but when I checked Baseball Reference, I'm pretty sure he was hitting 333, which is not Pete Alonso-esque, right? He's usually around like the two. When he's elite Pete Alonso, he's around 250 probably. Last couple of years, I think he's been a little less, but when he's firing, got the power going, got the average up, they're a force, and they're getting production from some of the other guys. So they're just doing their thing. Good for them. The two biggest surprises, though, and this is it's super early, let's not get crazy, is the Chicago Cubs, 5 games over 500, 17-12. That they are leading the Central. We did say that's up for grabs. Expect the Brewers to hang around, but that might already be a 2-horse race. I haven't looked at the Cardinals record. They're probably doing better than most think, but we expect them to be sellers. And last, the San Francisco Giants, 19-10. Dodgers and Padres bringing up the rear, very close. I think they're all within 2 games of each other.
Well, not the actual rear, but okay, of the race, that makes sense.
Yeah, of the three, it's Giants, Dodgers, Padres, all within 2 games of each other. But you do have to give the Giants credit, 19-10 through the first month of the season or so. They're the division leaders. Give them credit. Logan Webb, Matt Chapman. They've got some other guys that are doing well. Wilmer Flores is having a really crazy year. I picked him up in a couple fantasy leagues.
Nice.
Like what the hell, right? But I think that's probably the biggest surprise, just based on you expect to see Dodgers and Padres hanging around up there, which they are. So how far do the Giants regress, come to life? Are they this year's Royals?
Right.
I don't think, from what we've seen last year, I think it's possible that everybody's wrong on a team and they can be that surprise team. Do they win the division? Maybe not. However, getting 90 wins and making the playoffs, and you're like, oh shit, like they take a spot away from the East or whatever it is that happens. I do think the Giants have some stuff, and they have enough money to prove that they can make other moves. right? They can go and spend. They can make things happen.
Hypothetically, yes, they could.
I do. But whether or not they do is another story. I do like to see the Giants up there hanging around, make that division a little tighter, because the last note I want to make before I let you take the floor on your winners, losers, is the biggest loser of all. The Colorado Rockies have 4 wins. That's bad. That's bad for everybody involved. That trajectory ends up being worse than Chicago White Sox.
I say they're under the White Sox line, which we thought we saw the worst ever last year.
It's still a little early to be doing, he's trending to do this, trending to do that, but they don't show signs of life in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that I was excited for, there were 2 things I was excited for. One was Chase Dollander getting called up. So I believe since we actually did our last episode, Dollander got the call. Been pitching okay, not great, but he's a rookie in Colorado. He's going to get hit around a little bit. And they called Zach Veen up, who I do like Zach Veen. He's already back in the minors. For what reason, I have no idea. So I don't know. Tovar's already hurt. I know there's a lot more Rockies talk than anybody probably bargained for, but you have to talk about them and their 4 wins, and that's a historically bad rate. I hope that they pick up a little bit. You have to have some sense of pride to not be the worst team ever.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
I mean, you would say that, but the White Sox did it last year, right? And it seems like we're getting the same thing. Like, this team doesn't look like they have it. Look, this is how bad they are. They lead the league by lead the league, I mean they're the worst in the league with runs scored. They have less than 90 scored for the year. There's a couple teams, the White Sox and the Blue Jays both have like mid-90s, right? Those are the 3 worst, but Colorado is the worst. Also, they have the league's worst runs allowed. They have 158 runs allowed, and that's in first place. So their run differential is ridiculous because of the highest and the lowest. Like, this team's bad. Like, this team isn't like the White Sox. You're like, okay, they'll figure it out. And they never really did. With this team, I'm just like, I think they're just going to get curb stomped all year. Like, and there's no sign of life. There's no sign of anything really. So it's going to be a tough watch when.
Yeah,
I can't wait till we play them.
I wanted to make an argument. So while you were doing that, in my head, I was like, oh, I'm about to rattle off all these guys that are way better than what the White Sox have. And I'm thinking of them. And like, I do like Ezekiel Tovar. He's obviously their best player.
Yeah,
he's a little banged
great
up right now.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, like they have more Major League Baseball players. And you're like, well, that Michael Toglia was supposed to be good. He's shitting the bed. Tyler Freeman has been hurt, I believe. Their other Tyro Estrada they're signing in the offseason. He hasn't played all year. They do have Ryan McMahon still. That's a Major League Baseball player. He should get traded, hopefully. He's hurt again. He's on the IL again.
He's a Major League Baseball player.
In terms of pitchers, I mean, Kyle Freeland, they have him. And then again, Dollander is exciting, but if you're going to give up 3 runs and just take an L every time, that sucks. And I think he's getting hit for a little bit more, but you get the point. So my argument kind of went null and void there as I was like thinking through some of the, because again, you wanted to be excited for some of these guys and just like, I don't think I can be. They're not that good. Maybe they make a move and get McMahon out, but I don't know. I don't, to your point, maybe the White Sox were indeed better. Maybe they had more Major League talent. And we're comparing the worst teams of all time.
Yep.
Like arguably.
Yep.
So we'll see. It's something I would like to keep an eye on. Here's another call up. Barring something crazy happening in a Rockies game, right? A perfect game and no hitter, cycle. I don't know. I don't want to talk about the Rockies for another month. So they're our end of month check-in team.
Yeah, sure. Okay, end of month.
Put that in
How many wins will they have at the end of?
By the end of June?
May. At the end of May. Will they? Okay, how about this? Over under on 10 wins by the end of May.
Over. Or 10. I'll say 12. 12 is a good number.
I'm going to say, so let's say 10.5 is the number. I say they're at 10. I don't think they're more than 10.
You think they're going to just win 6 games a month, 2 months in a row? They're going to be 60 games into the season and have 12 wins?
Their run differential's 69. Nice. I mean, look, dude, they are not a good baseball team.
I'm not arguing for them being good. I'm saying that they're just going to win a couple games. 12. And I'm not telling you they're going to be 500
doubling
for the month.
Their win total.
Yeah. They're going to play 25, 26 games, probably even more. Just win.
They've played 27. Exactly. Okay. And they get 10. They win early. 6 of them. Early. They're at 10. That's the number.
Ask the Pirates. The Pirates win 20 plus games every April/May. Yeah. And then they shit the bed. I'm not saying they're going to win 20. 12 wins by however many days are remaining.
All right. If 31? You're going to say 12, I'm going to say under 12. Okay.
Put that in the note. We'll check. I don't want to talk about them ever again. Or again for 1 month.
For one
they're done. That's it with them.
Sounds good.
So what other call outs do you have? Any good
other things I wanted to kind of point out? You mentioned the Tigers and the Mets, and those teams have the best record in the last 10 games. They're both 8-2. Chris, quick pop quiz. Which two teams are 7-3 in the last 10 games?
Mariners, Braves?
Yes, sir.
Hell
yes,
yeah.
Sir.
Let's go.
So the Braves are starting to play baseball again. Not quite to 200 or 500, but showing life. That's good. But I will say both the teams have been playing well in the past 10 days. The other team I want to call out, because you're right, like the Cubs are playing amazing. The Cubs lead the league by far with runs scored. They have 170. They're mashing. Like they're playing great baseball. The Reds, I feel like need a little love.
They could be fun.
They could be fun.
I'll give Reds. I want them to be good.
They're technically second in division ahead of the Brewers right now, so I think that they could be sneaky good this year. And then, I think you called out the rest. Essentially, everybody else is. The Yankees look like they have a weakness. Same with like the Red Sox. I don't think the Mets and the Cubs look like to be the big teams right now. Obviously, the Dodgers are going to figure it out. But the Dodgers are only a half game behind the Giants.
Yeah,
I still think
they're playing the long game anyway.
Yeah, that's still their division.
It doesn't matter who gets banged up. It doesn't matter. Like they just need to weather the storm, get in, and then it's all fine.
That's all that happens.
Come September, get the bats going, and they'll be okay. So I hate that thought process, but I feel like that's how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that's what's going to happen with them. So I'm not. I'm not pumping them up. I'm not going to shit on them because they're the team that can just skate by. They might not get to like that 105 mark that we said.
Right. Yeah.
But we'll see. And then again, the Padres deserve a shout. For Tatis doing his thing, Machado's still there.
The Padres look good for sure.
Yeah. So I think it'll be fun. A lot of teams emerging, right? That Reds offense in that ballpark could be really fun, right? If Ellie starts playing MVP level, turning it on. They have some other big bats there. Hunter Green's been pitching his ass off. Brady Singer's had a couple nice starts.
Yep.
Lodolo, he had a no-hitter going into the 7th, I think, the other day. I didn't know that. There's some teams that could make some noise as the season continues to progress. It is exciting to see some of that happen. The Yankees, they have to do something about the Devin Williams situation.
Yeah.
Because they're just blowing baseball games. And it stinks to see a guy who's so dominant, who has a pitch named after him and what he's capable of, to just not have it. So there's no rhyme or reason. Because if we're being honest, Emmanuel Clase of the Guardians kind of lost a little bit this year too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The last I saw, he had a hold. So I don't know what I didn't look into it. So I don't know if the situation called for higher leverage than a save, at that particular time, or if he's now just the setup man until he can figure his shit out. But it is hard to see guys that are just so dominant just turn into a completely different pitcher and not be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean they have the yips for sure. I mean our closer, the Braves closer Iglesias has having issues too. So it's weird. It's like a closer. When the closer drops, he like falls off a cliff. Like we've seen it with a whole bunch of different
he
closers.
went from a 0.5 to a 1.3. You're like, he blew a couple more saves. Like that stinks. Like no, it's like this guy is. Can we pitch this guy? Can we run this guy out there right now?
Yeah.
And that's a shitty place to be, especially when you're like because. Half of being not half, but so much of being a closer is that unbridled confidence, right? Mm-hmm. I don't care what the situation is. Guy on third, no outs. I'll strike out the side. I don't care, right? It doesn't matter. But like if you're coming with your best stuff, so to speak, and I don't know if the velocity. Again, I didn't look into his extra numbers, right? Is his velocity down, all that stuff? But
I don't think his velocity's down. I think he's missing his spots pretty bad.
Yeah, like
right?
If you just don't feel like you have it and you feel hittable, like. That hurt, now, oh, the guy's on, now they want me to come in and see, and now I get to come in, like, screw me. Like, I'm not missing bats right now. So, like, not only that run score, like, this guy might tattoo me too. So, with that said, if they're, we talked about the bad, I do have to pump out the good. Andres Munoz, 0 ERA still. He's pumping in at 100. He's going to get tagged. I get it. I know. But I'm gonna ride this 0 ERA as long as I can. So he could keep closing out games. The rest of the bullpen's a disaster. But get the ball in his hands and I'll be okay. The Cubs bullpen might need fixing, always. That seems to be just a steady issue.
Well, name me 2 guys in the bullpen for the Cubs.
I know one, Presley.
Okay,
and
so
I have no
that's
idea
it.
how he's
you
doing.
Can't name the second one, and that's true. So
Hodge.
Okay, that's fair.
First name.
That's fair. So the Cubs, fun fact, the Cubs are number 1 in runs scored, but they're also number 2. Nope, they're top 5 runs allowed. So like they let a lot of runs in. So they're winning because they're mashing, but they're not stopping a lot of runs from being scored either. So they need it. I think if they're around, if they're still here, All-Star break, I would expect them to make some bullpen moves for sure.
Yeah, they have to. They might even do some weird stuff now, right? Like, and, pick up some guys on waivers and things like that. They got to make some moves, I think. But we'll see how they break it down. But those are your top teams. We named all the division winners. Very much subject to change. It's by no means a closed book. There's a lot that could happen throughout this season.
In fact, what's the widest gap? I mean, I think it's probably the East, right?
I mean, I don't know who's in second.
Yes, it's the East. So the East is 4 games, and that's the biggest gap.
How many are the Tigers up?
Tigers are up 2.5.
On who? Cleveland?
Cleveland. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you look at the NL West, the top 4 teams are within 3.5. Right, the AL or NL Central 4.5. All of the East is within 6.5. All of the West and AL is within 3.5. That's wild. Top 3 teams in Central are 4.5, and then all in the East are 6.5. Yeah, it's close.
We want some parity.
Yeah. Nobody's running away with it.
And people are going to, as the season progresses, right? Your divisions are going to get locked up. But I think it's a great start, for a lot of teams, minus the Rockies. White Sox still have some stuff, a lot of stuff to figure out.
Angels,
the Marlins aren't very good, right? So you have you are who you thought they were type of teams. Mm-hmm. So I want to take that piece, we know what they were, and for some reason nobody did anything about it, and throw out this hypothetical. We got the Pittsburgh Pirates. They did nothing this offseason to add to the plethora of young pitching arms that they have and trying to take advantage of the less expensive Paul Skenes, right? They did nothing. Paul Skenes is just shoving it. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter where. He just did it to the Dodgers the other night, pitched his ass off. The guy is a gamer. He's going to do it for as long as that arm allows him to, and probably then some.
Yep.
My question for you, if you are in the front office of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Are you fielding calls for Paul Skenes? And if so, how soon do you do that?
Who? I mean, I feel like they could get a king's ransom for him now.
That's my point. And because if you're not going to, my argument here is that it's almost written in stone that he's not staying, right? You have, off the top of my head, 5 more years max of Paul Skenes.
Yes.
And everybody knows he's leaving. And everybody's already mad at you that he is leaving. Right? They know, all the fans know Paul Skenes is going to be wearing another team's jersey within the next couple of seasons.
Mm-hmm.
The only question is, are you going to open up that checkbook and try to formulate a team? Because Andrew McCutchen ain't doing it no more. Tommy Pham ain't doing it, right? You need to go and sign legitimate free agents and prove that you're trying to do something. So of the mindset that they're not going to do it because they haven't proven that they're willing to do that, do you just say, would any fan of the Pirates be willing to just say, you know what? Screw it. We're not going to keep them. Let's just try and compile as many players as we possibly can, hopefully that are Major League Reggie. I don't know how that works, but I'd love to know what a package would look like and how it could get done.
So, I mean, I think the problem is, I don't know how Skenes has impacted like attendance, because that matters, right? So if Paul Skenes is putting butts in seats, that ownership is just going to keep him there for as long as possible, because they know as soon as they trade him, they're going to get a king's ransom, but it's not going to be Paul Skenes, and the fans are going to hate it, right? The team might actually be better in the long run if they play their cards right. Very well could, right? Get a whole bunch of great prospects and players because Skenes is that great. And so the team as a whole could be better, but fans don't care because their once in a generation player is now no longer in that jersey, right? So I don't know. I'd be interested to see what their attendance is comparatively, if it's a lot better. And if it's not, then they should be looking to trade him ASAP.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're not making a shit ton of money on him,
I think
there's no reason
coming in. I think their money would come in. Like it's every 5th day at best, right? So
that's true.
At absolute maximum. So just think through this. He pitches 30. He starts 33 games. Let's just say every single one of them's at home. That's still 48 games that he's not pitching in. You know what I mean? Like at PNC Park. So I think maybe the question was a little bit early, right? Or maybe we posed it a little soon, because I think he doesn't end this contract, so whatever you want to call it. He's going to go through arbitration, all that nonsense. He will not be with the Pittsburgh Pirates, in my opinion, in like 3 years. Maybe they keep him till the last year. I don't know, but they need to do something just to win, like to win back confidence from the fan base. I think I've said it at least on the podcast. I hope so. I know I've said it personally. Go and spend the money on somebody, and if you're wrong, people will forgive you. Like, you at least tried.
Yeah. Now
you can't pull an Arnie Moreno and be wrong 5 times in a row. That's bad. That's different.
That's going to be bad.
Right. But if I don't even have it in front. Let's just say Pete Alonso's available again this offseason, right? He opts out because he balls out. Go get Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
Go make an offer he can't refuse. Try. Try. If Pete Alonso shits the bed and turns into a pumpkin, well, we tried and it didn't work. Right? Like, you could at least hang your hat on attempting. What they're doing now is not attempting. They're not trying. They're not getting better.
I just looked it up too, by the way. So the Pirates have seen on average 1,000 more fans a game, but on games
it's still April in Pitts. Oh, go ahead.
On the games he starts, it's over 5,000 people more.
Now, keep in mind, it is April in Pittsburgh. It's not the warmest conditions of all time,
but still,
there's an uptick, but I don't know. His bobblehead, they had a hell of a hell of a crowd. They were like across the bridge and stuff. That was awesome. But again, the bigger point is you've got to do something, and it's just sad because this season is wasted. No matter what, the season's over for him, right? They're not going to make any. They're not going to make any waves. They only have 11 wins. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to turn it on. They have no juice to make that happen. They have some pitching arms, right? Jared Jones, I don't know exactly when he's coming back
until like probably July.
Okay, I wasn't sure of his time frame, but you've got some young arms. They've got, I wouldn't say a ton of, but like O'Neal Cruz is having a nice season. They do have Brian Reynolds, but it's still not enough. They're not doing enough, and it bothers me when you have that caliber of player of Skenes who could go out and win you every fifth ball game, keep you in every fifth game, and you're not even trying to win. Again, you're employing the likes of Tommy Pham, Andrew McCutchen, who
Old Man McCutchen.
Love Kutch, and you know why he's there at this point, to try and sell extra tickets, to be a nostalgia piece, and that's not fair to anybody involved with the organization. So my take, I think you should trade Skenes sooner rather than later, but I think I'll give them another year to do something, even though I know damn well they're going to not do anything.
It does feel like they're going to nurse the shit out of it, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Because to me, too, I'm thinking with the fragility of the arm that we see nowadays, that has he has an actual clock. That arm will stop working after X amount of pitches. We don't know what that X is, but the more you let him throw, the slower that number gets, and the more at risk you become of losing him for a season. So yeah, I'm with you. I think they should be fielding phone calls right now because they would get a ransom for that man. So
I have a follow up. Not a question. I guess it is Skenes related, but just pitching in general.
Yeah.
In NFL terms, right? To think, pitch clock and how much you're used and stuff like that. Running backs, right, are seen as, dispensable assets, kind of churn and burn, right? Very rarely do they sign a second contract with the same team, right? Because they got their worth out of them. Why do the teams that have the cheapest part don't utilize that? Like they don't, I'm not saying abuse it, but they'll baby him, be like, oh, he's only going to throw 130 innings this year. It's like, well, why not let him throw more?
Oh, so you think they should take the football method where these coaches are like, no, just run that guy.
I have this guy for 6 years. Like, because again, especially with the way the arms work, after that, 5-6 seasons, he's still throwing like that. Like, okay, maybe he's in his prime, but you probably weren't going to sign him anyway, I guess. But you would know, you and your doctor and your medical team would know best as to what could be transpiring in the future. But it's like, I have him now. Why would I waste 2 years of my time with him to throw 138? Like if they're I'm making it up, 20 games out come August, why would you let Paul,
don't even pitch him?
Correct. But
yeah, that's fair.
Why not field a better team so that you could utilize him pitching? Like I understand the concept of shutting him down, but you that's a self-inflicted wound. You didn't have to. It wasn't going to happen until you didn't field a goddamn team around them.
It's a good argument, but it's one of those things too. I'm sure all of the owners and coaches and GMs would say, "Oh, we just want them to last for this year." It's not really if you're having him pitch minimum innings, it's not so he lasts 6 years. It's so he lasts the entire year. But I mean, if you're the Pirates, you're never even competitive. So what's the point?
Correct. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Right. Run them out. I'm not saying
every third day. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not saying 230 innings. I'm saying let's get this thing going. We're in year 2 now. Now we lost 2 years. However, but what do you get? 6 again? I forget the number, 6 or 7. But that's 6. Also too many. So it's okay. They have 4 more years left. He's not going to be there by the end of the 4th year anyway. So now you got about 3 years to figure it out. So now it's too late to develop anybody, right? So you either have the guys you have in your minor league system. I don't think their system's that great. They have 1 or 2 guys hanging around. But other than that, they have to hit on practically every free agent. Nobody does that. And it's even lower when you don't sign any.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no,
You're starting at zero.
the Pirates don't have a great track record either, so it is one of those things. I don't know, man. It's a head scratcher. I mean, there's a lot of things that these team owners do that just make me not understand. And here's the deal: like, if it was a greed thing, like we see with certain ownership groups, that makes sense. But like with a player like this, you could make so much money for your franchise by getting rid of him,
in a million.
Or by building around him and making your team good. That's how you make the most money. If you have a good baseball team, you make more money. I don't understand why owners don't get that.
Think of the goodwill, right? Hey, we're going for it. Like, we've got this guy. We know the limitations that and mind you, let me rephrase, the self-imposed limitations that this organization has. Mm-hmm. And for now, while our best asset is our cheapest asset on the team, mm-hmm. we are going to go full steam ahead and try and figure it out. Mm-hmm. And if you do that, people will at least say, hey, I could get behind it. We tried, but people in Pittsburgh will shut it down. Like, they're not afraid to just be like, screw you, man. And they've already started. Yeah. Right? It's already been seen. And, you're never going to get an answer out of Skenes. He's a steel trap, right? He's a very monotone type of guy. So you're never going to get the clip you want for, Skenes to get a rise out of anybody, right? But rally the fans, piss off ownership. He's a very straightforward guy. If he didn't have to talk to anybody, he probably would, right? Yeah. Or wouldn't, excuse me. So, screw ownership at this point. I give them another year to figure it out. But after that, like, people are going to be so mad if they do this again that their only chance is to just say, hey, we're cheap, we know it, and we're just going to trade them for this haul and hope 30% of the 50% mm-hmm. of these guys hit. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that they could do to potentially try to save face.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I completely agree. And
I hate it. I don't think that's the right play, but that's how you have to do it. All right, I'm over it because now I'm getting angry. So Skenes is one of the players playing his ass off this year. Yep. I'd be remiss if we don't talk about Eugenio Suarez's 4.
No, we don't have to talk. We don't have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about
against the Braves.
Yeah, it was.
Do you find it crazy that there have been more perfect games than 4 home run games? Because I do.
Wait, there's been more perfect games. Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm almost positive.
That is, yeah, I do find that. I mean, okay. But here's the deal. That means, for the most part, you're getting 4 at-bats a game. I guess sometimes you can get 5 or 6, depending on how bad the team is. But, yeah, that's pretty interesting. What's the number? Like, how big of a difference is it?
There have been 19, and there's 24 perfect games.
There's only been 19 4-home run games?
Yeah.
There was 13 till the Braves let someone else do it. Awesome. Yes. that feels wild.
Correct. It is wild.
Man. I'm trying to think who of the home run heroes, did any of them go yard 4 times in a game? The answer is probably no, because they get walked after home run number 2, right? Like, I don't think Barry ever went for 4. I'm pretty sure he went for 3 a couple times.
One guy I do know specifically, just off the top of my head, Mike Cameron has a 4 home run game.
Right, because Seattle, right?
I'll just read through the list.
Yeah, let me hear him.
Eugenio, that was obviously a couple days ago. JD Martinez in 2017 for the D-backs. Scooter Gennett also in 2017. So we had 2 that year. That was in June. So Scooter Gennett.
Who the hell is that?
This is a name. Josh Hamilton. He was 2012.
Right. Yep.
Big Bopper Carlos Delgado in 2003. Sean Green in 2002.
That's a name.
Mike Cameron, also 2002. And then prior to that was 1993. The man everybody knows, Mark Whiten, Whitten, Whiten, beats me. Bob Horner, Braves. You should have known that. That was
Okay.
1986.
I was 2 years old. Should not know that.
Michael Jack Schmidt. So there's your Hall of Famer.
Yeah, okay, got
In
one.
1976. Oh, Willie Mays, 1961.
Mays
Here we
has
go.
one.
Here we
Hell
go.
yeah, let's go.
Rocky Colavito, never heard of him.
Sure.
1959. Joe Adcock, 1954. Gil Hodges, 1950. I believe he's a Hall of Famer. Pat Seary, never heard of him. Chuck Klein. Oh, Lou Gehrig, 1932.
All right. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I mean, so yes,
I mean, that's amazing.
We did. There was more big names there than I thought.
There was.
But as far as modern, not so much.
Yeah.
Like Mike Schmidt was the most recent Hall of Famer.
That is a absolutely wild stat.
And then if you were perfect games are up there too, though.
Yeah, if you were
Felix has one, Roy Halladay. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off four times.
I was going to say if you were to ask me what the number is, I would not have guessed 19. I would have guessed.
How many were you going to say?
I would have probably said somewhere in the 30s.
Yeah. Ever in baseball history?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, he said it like that, so it's got to be low.
You figure all right, one time a season. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Or once or twice, or one every other season or something like that. Even then, there's
even
30
50 would be
low of a number.
Reasonable guess. Yeah, 50 would be a reasonable guess.
Yeah, I agree. Man, 19. Holy shit! I did not know that.
So there are less still to at this point less 4 home run games than there are perfect games.
Wow, batters need to get their shit together.
I mean, it's obviously clearly not impossible, but pretty damn hard because those 4 home runs very well could come off of 4 different pitchers.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. You don't have one guy throwing 7 innings anymore, no matter how bad he's getting the doors beat off of.
That's true. I mean, yeah.
And to your point, you get 3, you're getting four fingers and taking off. You know what I mean?
That might be why. That might be why there's not as many big names, because the big names after 2, they're not even seeing pitches anymore.
No, thank you.
This guy that I can't say his name, but
Suarez.
Home run number 2, you're like, okay, he has the power, he can do that. Home run number 3, we're like, okay, that's a fluke. Surely he won't do it again. And we try to pitch to him again. Nope, gone. So
yeah, you ever do the thing in MLB The Show when you give up a home run and then the next time that guy comes up, you're like, I'm just going to throw him that pitch 5 straight times because I know he's not going to hit a home run, and they do it again, and you're like, you son of a bitch. That's how it felt.
No, Chris, I'm petty, and I throw it to his ear hole if he gets a home run off.
You hit him. I got you. You're one of those guys. I get
one
it.
of those guys, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's we talk about a pitcher's confidence and being so much of their game. No pitcher wants to come in and be like, especially he comes up bases empty or something. You're not like, I'm not walking this guy. I'm just gonna strike him out. Right? What are you doing in the league if you don't think you could get anybody out? I don't care who, if it's Shohei or Suarez or the last guy on the Rockies. You're in your head, you're like, I'm going to get this guy out.
I got this guy.
So I thought that obviously that's historical. That has historical
it's
significance.
A big deal. I mean, I didn't know how historical. It's super historical.
Correct. So that had to be discussed.
That's fair.
Super quick.
Damn.
And then a couple guys that are I just have them listed as hot. Jorge Polanco is having quite the stretch for the Mariners. He's got quite a knee thing going on, so he DHs a decent bit. Quite frankly, I don't care if he keeps hitting like this. I will love him forever. So if he keeps it up, I will be very satisfied. Pete Crow Armstrong. I think we talked about him in our car ride a couple times. People wrote him off. It is still a long season, so he can cool off. Maybe even in a hurry. But for right now, ride the hot hand. If somehow he's still available in your fantasy leagues, go get him. He should not be available. And if he is, you should be stealing people's money in this league. But, he's off to a hot start. I don't have any stats listed, but I know he's had a very good stretch. And another guy I mentioned to you, Hunter Brown, Houston Astros. Cammy, our Astros preview individual, spoke about Hunter Brown 2 years ago saying mini Verlander, and he didn't really he was okay last year. He was mediocre, just a 3-arm, 4-arm.
I don't think he was mediocre. He was
last year. No, sorry. Let me back up. He's mediocre for most of the year. He turned it on at the end of the year.
Okay,
his last starts.
Okay, gotcha.
His last starts were very good.
Yeah,
but he's very much starting to live. I'm going to stop calling him Verlander since Verlander no longer exists in the Houston realm. But he's becoming their ace slowly.
Yeah.
Maybe he overtakes Framber at some point as like their stopper. But man, it sucks to see as a Mariners fan. I don't want to see Hunter Brown right now, but it is cool because I do like him. I think he's a good player. Those are the players I wanted to call out. You got anybody?
I mean, I was just gonna call out that it's a Braves player, just like you did a Seattle player. But to be honest with you, so Murphy leads the team in home runs now, and he's played basically 13 games less than everybody else. So he's come on pretty hot. He already has 0.9 more, which is second on the team. He's come on and been a big asset to us. Also, Verdugo, I'm just going to point that out. As soon as he got called up, he's been on fire for us. Of course, those are both Braves folks, which, this is not a Braves or a Mariners podcast, but it's obviously the teams we watch a lot of. So it's tough.
But the Verdugo thing holds weight no matter what, because he was a guy that was literally nobody wanted him for whatever reason. I don't recall what we said about him in the offseason. Like I think we were puzzled by like nobody wants him.
Reason.
Right. Yeah. Again, not to say he's our everyday left fielder, but like you're just not going to put him on a team. Like he probably isn't getting paid very much. He might even be on a minor league deal for all I know. Mm-hmm. And then the Braves didn't even have him in the majors. They stuck him in Gwinnett to start.
Stuck him in Gwinnett first. Yeah,
probably because he didn't play all spring training, and now here he is. Like he's your leadoff guy, table setter. And now he doesn't really have to worry about much because they did just put down my boy Jared Kelenic. He was optioned today. But I only bring him up to say Verdugo doesn't have to like look over his shoulder all the time to be like, oh, they're going to start Kelenic today. I think Verdugo's turning into an everyday guy, and at this particular point, somebody you can't afford to take out of the lineup.
No, definitely not. I mean, he's been huge for us. He's batting .333. OPS of 841. I mean, the kid's been good. He really has. And it sucks, see Kelenic, who I thought had a lot of potential. He's just such a streaky player, man. Like when he's hot, he's really hot.
Yeah, but you got to ride it. You can't. You got to ride it. You know what I mean? Just let him play.
But when he's off, man, he's a liability. So, someone I was looking at stats today. Do you know what Mike Trout's batting average is right now?
I don't know.
I just want you to guess what Trout's batting average is currently.
We're talking about players that are good. I'm going to say
he is a very good baseball player. That is correct.
326.
No.
What is it?
170.
Okay. So I saw something that said that he wasn't doing well, but I was like,
he's got 9 home runs. He's doing great.
Correct. I didn't look into it because I was like, wait, every time I hear about Mike Trout, he's doing that garbage ass swing for a monster home run. I hate his swing. He has the worst home run swing in the world.
He has more home runs, 9. Well, yeah, he has more home runs than he has every other hit. He has 17 total hits.
The OPS is probably high though.
Yeah, his OPS is. Hold on, I'm getting there.
Go on.
Hold on, I'm getting there.
Go on.
Come on. 731.
Okay, not too high. Never mind. Okay, so now
considering his batting average is 170.
Every time but every time I hear about him, it's a home run. So whatever. Keep feeding me the Mike Trout home runs. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see him hit doubles anyway. Screw it.
I mean, that's the thing. Like I thought he was doing really well too, but because of the 9 home runs, I know that's like second in the league.
Yeah.
It feels like every other game he's hitting one, but no, he's batting 170. Like so, he's not.
Yeah.
Not playing out of his mind, but I mean, angels are going to angels, I guess. So.
And then this wouldn't be a baseball podcast without talking about Aaron Judge. He's just incredible.
Monster.
I don't know. He is.
I don't know.
I don't like comparing anybody to Barry Bonds, but he's as close to Barry Bonds of this era that anybody I've ever seen. He's doing ridiculous shit, and it's stupid. Why are people pitching? People at least walked Barry Bonds. They don't walk this guy. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
I still don't know why they aren't doing that. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Just walk the guy, for the love of God. Hunter Brown is top 4 ERA with 1.22. I didn't see that.
Yeah, he just had a really good start the other day.
Yikes! You got to stay away from that guy.
He's having a good season. Again, I didn't really come with stats to back it up. It was just hey, this guy's pitching really well. Anybody else you want to call out? I have one more one more thing I want to get to, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up.
Now, what you got?
The Savannah Bananas were nearby.
Yes, they were
this weekend. They sold out, for lack of a better word, Death Valley, Clemson University. 81,000 people, and I didn't get to watch it. We were out of town. We didn't get to go either, but I thought it was pretty badass, right? They always put it on a show, and then you jump on Twitter and it's social media, and everybody just wants to complain. Who's paying to see this? Like, everybody. Like, why would you poo-poo it? Like, just open up your eyes a little bit. And quite frankly, if you don't want to go because you're a baseball purist, like, that's fine. Like, it's clearly not for everybody, but 81,000 fucking people wanted to go to this thing.
Look, I get it if that's not your thing, but I also hear the people in the same breath who bitch about it say it's like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And who gives a shit?
Take it for what it's worth. Like, go enjoy it. It's literally, they have it. It's 2 hours of it's entertainment.
Yeah,
it is 2 hours of entertainment. These guys are still very good at baseball. Mm-hmm. No, they're not major leaguers, but they could still hit the shit out of the ball.
They still do
They could just do
things.
Tricks with the ball, right?
Yeah,
like, Harlem Globetrotters are still very, very good at basketball, right? Like, there's no, like, they're just theatrical, and they're,
here's the thing. If you want to go watch baseball, go to a baseball game. You don't go to the Savannah Bananas to watch them play baseball. You go to watch them do the dances and the trick plays and have fun. Like, it's and as a baseball person, whether you're a purist or whatever, you should want people to want to go watch baseball no matter the form, right? Because that's what we want. We want kids to want to play baseball. Look, and it's the day and age of like, of social media, right? And so the Savannah Bananas, they are, what is the name of that? Dude Perfect, right? They're Dude Perfect on the baseball field, right? And that's what kids love.
That's
okay. Yeah.
Right, like they all have their own.
How many people were there they were in Death Valley in Clemson?
81 grand.
The baseball field was set wonky because it's in a football stadium. It made no fucking sense, and everyone went, and everyone had a fucking great time.
Like, you think I'm not going to try and catch a foul ball to record an out like? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Like, you're trying to catch a foul ball anyway. Like, what? Who can? Oh, you're not in the TikTok chats. That's fine. Don't go. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to comment everything negatively on something you just disagree with. That's like, let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. They're literally hurting nobody. Yeah. They just exist. They're just a form of entertainment, and their vehicle is baseball. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. I don't know what you're mad about. Why are you
yucking their yum? It doesn't make any sense.
I just don't understand it. I don't follow.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's baseball the way it should be played, but you're crazy to just be like, oh, that idea like seems cool, right? You're like, you see some of their list of rules and stuff. You're like, oh, okay, like that'd be fun.
I mean, shit's weird for sure, but it's definitely something I would go to. And we were out of town on a golf trip. We had a great time. But if the Bananas come back to the area, I'm gonna try to go watch the Bananas.
Oh, they probably will.
Oh yeah,
they've got a good relationship with Bakich and team, and they're a good thing for. Obviously, just think from the university perspective, like that's a big deal. That brings people in. The players at Clemson, in terms of NIL, I talked about this with Coach Bakich. You could learn from this, right? Like, you could learn from these guys. Like, yes, they're employees of the Savannah Bananas, but they're also their own individual like social media personalities, right? So they're getting their own brand deals and all this and all that. So like for a player, a freshman at Clemson, just to pick their brain a little bit, right? Do a silly TikTok dance here or there. Does it look stupid? Does sometimes the world of social media not make sense to someone like you and me? Yes. The answer is yes. However, you have to sit back sometimes and be like, it works. It doesn't make sense. Even though it doesn't make sense to me, it makes sense to other people, and other people enjoy it, and just let them do it. Who gives a shit? Savannah Bananas, A+ in my book. I want to come. I got to figure it out. We will figure it out. We will get to one.
We're going to make it to spring training and the Savannah Bananas.
We've got so many things to we have so many places to go.
We have a to-do list.
Yes, we do. What else? We got anything else? Because I think that's about all I've got as we get ready for May.
I think the only thing left is, if you haven't seen already on our social media, we have put out the previews for our new segment, and it's going to be on YouTube, it's going to be on Instagram, it's going to be on TikTok, but it's called Throw and Tell. And so we've been teasing it for a while, but we're super excited about it. And the first episode is just going to be Chris and I explaining what it is and what our goals are. And essentially, we just want to play catch with friends and talk about baseball or anything else, really. The whole goal is to put people in a different environment, playing catch with the friend and talking just like you would whenever you would hang out with your buddy. And so that's what we're going after. So if you haven't seen it, go take a look, like it, share it, subscribe to those outlets if you would. We're really excited about it, and just know that more is coming.
Yes, more definitely coming. We have a few guests lined up already. Just based on the previews, we shared the preview, and everyone's like, holy hell, like this is a pretty cool idea. And, that's not to pat ourselves on the back, but I certainly will.
Yep.
But we're excited to see where it goes. Like Andrew said, it's a different avenue. It's way different than just talking about, how hot Jorge Polanco is at the plate, right? It's just using baseball as a vehicle to just talk to people. But let's just have some conversations. The full video, I don't know if it's already out yet or not.
It will be when they hear this. How about that?
Okay, sounds great. So by the time you're listening to this, you can pop into YouTube, watch our entire video for Throw and Tell as well. Let us know what you think. Any feedback's greatly appreciated. I do know, I'll give you a little teaser. I do make a call out for a variety of items, such as equipment, gloves, gear. So feel free, send them all my way. I'll send them my address. I'm ready, willing,
we
able.
are advertisement whores, so please give us whatever
you're giving me.
We will wear patches on our shirts that don't match the logo. We don't care. We want to be sellouts. So thank you all so much for listening. Until next time, my name's Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And this is the Coach's Sons podcast.